Here we are for another 5-minute freedom tip, the weapons mounted light edition. Today we're checking out the brand new Olight Valkyrie Turbo weapons mounted light. But first, in 2021, Olight dropped their first L.E.P, the Olantern Turbo, which was primarily set up for a long gun with its patented remote switch, 1050 meter throw, and a mere 330 lumen output. Now they're back at it with the first ever L.E.P tactical light for short setups, even pistols. This light is packed with features that rival any weapons mounted light manufacturer I can think of. In the interest of transparency, Olight did send out this Valkyrie Turbo to the channel for review. However, that doesn't guarantee a favorable review. Anyone who knows me knows that I am partial to the Olight products, but I will still present what I deem to be pros and cons for my particular usage. As a matter of fact, I have some pretty significant cons, but we'll get to those in a minute. Remember, your pros and cons list could be different than mine. If so, put it in the comments below and let's chat about it. But for now, throw 5 minutes on the clock and let's break down some of the major features of this light. As we always do on 5-minute freedom tips, we talk about tools first. This does come with the customary Allen key, which is used to change the insert from Picatinny 1913 to Glock insert or vice versa, which is an awesome feature that we'll get into in a minute. But first, let's talk about what the heck an L.E.P really is. Laser excited phosphor is the process in which a blue laser beam is directed into a phosphor layer supported by a sapphire substrate after passing through a focused lens. The blue laser beam excites the phosphor and converts it into an intense white beam. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to pretend that I know what any of that means, but let's get into these features. But before we get into the features, at the time of the filming of this, there was a summer sale going on until July 15th, 2022. Now, if you're watching this before July 15th, go ahead over to the site at the link below or in the description or in the first pinned post, and you can go and save on this item and many other items at Olight right now. But if you're watching after July 15th, 2022, you can still save 10% on anything on the site that's not on sale with the link and the code that's on the screen. So if you go over there right now, you can get whatever you want at 10% off if it's not on sale. If it's on sale, go get your shopping. Now let's get to the features. On to the first feature. As previously mentioned, it comes with the 2 Picatinny inserts that allow you to securely mount the light to both 1913 and Glock rails. That's pretty standard with Olight, as is the quick connect, disconnect, locking swing arm. If for any reason you have to remove it or field strip your weapon, you don't have to fumble with tools. You just have to unclip, drop, and keep moving. Major pro. Again, the on-off strobe function with its ambidextrous switch is ever present on this style of light. And it's also lightweight. It weighs in just a hair under 5 ounces. Now that can surely help with the muzzle rise and getting back on target. It does have a decently long battery life. However, it isn't a rechargeable system like the Valkyrie PL Pro, so you will need to carry spare CR122 batteries. Olight does have your back in that area, and we'll get to that in just a minute. It also comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, a 5-year manufacturer's limited warranty, so don't go torture testing and requesting a replacement, and free shipping from Virginia. Yes, they now have a warehouse in Virginia and Georgia to shorten the shipping times. Now, while the last 3 items mentioned are not really features of the light itself, I think we can agree that they are some pretty cool add-ons. Now that's all fine and dandy, but let's get down to brass tacks. The candela rating for this light right here is 70,225 with a 530 meter spotlight throw at a mere 250 lumens. That's almost half the distance at nearly 2/3 the lumens of its predecessor, the Olantern Turbo. But again, this is designed for a short to mid-length setup, as you can see on Brigand, my 8.5-inch 5.56 build, and my full-size Canik TP9 SFX. Now, I did shoot some house clearing footage. I use that term very loosely. You try holding a weapon while trying to get a good camera shot through a red dot. And took it outside to compare with my Valkyrie PL Pro and my Baldr RL. At virtually a quarter of the measured lumens, but nearly 4 times the candela rating, I think you'll agree that the difference is staggering. Now, this was not a complete comparison between the 3 lights shown in this video, nor was it meant to be, but I think the results are clear. If you would like to see that video, hit me up in the comment section, and if there's enough desire for that video, I will surely put it together. So what are my pros and cons? Let's deal with the cons first. First, it's not rechargeable. But some people wouldn't see that as a con, because if you have a rechargeable light, you can't remove the battery. And in this case, if your light goes dead and you have an extra battery, you can just throw it in and keep moving. So that could be a pro in some people's case. However, Olight does have a temporary solution for that too, but that's in the pro section. We'll get to that in a second. My second con? It's not remote switch capable. Now, that's not a huge deal, and it's not a deal breaker since this is primarily set up for pistols or pistol caliber carbines or that short setup. But it does have the capability of reaching out to distance, so it would be nice to be able to put it on a long gun. That way I can reach out. I guess I'll just have to buy me an Olantern turbo for that capability. Next up, the beam is a little too tight for house clearing. For me, I like to be able to see, around corners or whatever, but with this tight beam, you might miss somebody up against a wall or around the corner because the light there's no spill. As you saw it on the other 2 lights, it spills a little wider and you can see a little more into those cracks and crevices. But with this tight beam inside a house, it's hard to see. So I probably wouldn't like it for house clearing. Outside, yes. Inside, not so much. Next, it's not designed for compact or subcompact pistols. It just is what it is. We all know that there are those out there, so it would be nice to see them make this in a compact pistol variant. That's it. Those are the only cons I have. Now let's talk about the pros. Quick connect, disconnect, lock, swing arm. Always a good thing to be able to remove your light without a tool in case you have to field strip. That way you can get rid of it and get back to work. My next pro, the long spotlight beam. I love it, I love it, I love it. Did you guys see how that house that was about 50 yards away lit up the minute I threw the Valkyrie turbo on? With the other lights, it was like the house wasn't even there. So I like that it can reach out. So yeah, I wish it could go onto a long gun with a remote switch, but check it out. I have an AR9 build coming up. It might just find a home on that. Just a couple of more pros. The fact that it's a better sustained light from LED, it's fairly lightweight, coming in at just 4.7 ounces. It can be used on short to mid-length setups. Like I said, it might go on to an AR9 that I got coming up that's about 8.2 inches long. So that's gonna be an outstanding possibility. And my last pro, I saved the best for last, guys. Remember I talked about in the cons that the light is not rechargeable? Well, Olight said, you know what, until December 31st, 2023, anybody who purchased this light, when they need them, we'll give them a free set of CR123A batteries whenever they need them so they can keep running their light. Now, that is completely unheard of. So that is my review. If you own this light and you want to offer up some more information about this light, please hit us up in the comments. Until then, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next 5-minute freedom tip. Deuces.